I feel as though I've been playing catch up for the past 2 years, since I've started. Chasing the community, the meta, players I look up to, everything, it's all been factored into this standard that I hold myself to. A picture of where I want to be and a perception of where I feel I should be. And while I think it's okay to hold yourself to a high standard, it's important to understand and question where this thing you're chasing comes from. And for me, it derives from all the wrong places. I think I compare myself and my progress to others entirely too much in terms of results, performance, progress, and everything in between. And that seems to be a recipe for disaster. And it all hit me at once after I finished playing this tournament that you're watching in the background today. After going 0-2 and losing, I felt nothing. And that scares me because this hollow facade of a standard I've been chasing began to crumble because I wasn't upset with myself for not reaching my potential I felt I had previously. And if I can't hold myself to my own picture of strength, then how can I claim that I'm even attempting to get better, that I even care? Somewhere along the way, I began to care more about what others think of me and what others are doing and how they're progressing in relation to me. Am I falling behind? Am I where I should be by now? These are the questions that haunt me in times like this, when you're doubting yourself. But there's a theme to all of them. They revolve around comparing myself to someone else's experience. You never stop to ask yourself, who am I falling behind? Who am I trying to catch up to? And what dictates where I should even be? These are questions with no concrete answers, yet I try to find solutions in the journey of other players. But today, it felt as if I'd been running a race, and for the first time in a very long time, I stopped, and I took a look around, and there were no spectators, there were no competitors, there was nothing in sight. And at that point, you ask yourself, do you keep running for your own enjoyment and fulfillment, or do you go home because there's no one here to witness it, and there's no one here for you to beat? And while we'd all like to say that we'd keep running for our own enjoyment and fulfillment, our actions sometimes speak louder than our words. And we'll take that path of least resistance, and we'll pack it up, and we'll go home, and we'll quit. But thankfully, I'm not quite there yet. I have a lot of fight left in me, and I have a lot of things I want to do here competitively. And I don't know what it was about that loss today that really fired me up. You can ask anybody that I talked to before I played my match. I didn't expect anything. I went in there to have some fun because the bracket was stacked to the high heavens, and I didn't expect to make it anywhere. But something about that Kage loss knocked some fucking sense back into me. I just remember thinking, like, why are you going to show up and enter this tournament if you're not going to try your best? Why are you even here if you don't want to compete? Get it the fuck together. It was a real sense of anger that you can only feel towards yourself. The kind of anger that you can't really usually articulate until afterwards, until that rage is simmered down a little bit. And although I lost that game and I lost the next one, I felt like I had regained something that I really needed to in that moment. I just think now more than ever I realize that everybody learns a little bit differently. Everybody learns at a different pace, and not everybody is going to experience the same thing when they pick up a game or when they pick up anything. And the implications of the game being one-on-one puts much more pressure. It feels like it can put much more pressure on you to feel like you need to progress faster because you are holding yourself back. Your team is not holding yourself back. It's you. And that sense of urgency that you get, that you want to speed up and speed up your progress, can harm you in more than ways than one. And it starts to inhibit your growth and your progress. And it's hard for you to blame yourself and say that I'm not understanding something because I'm not thinking about it correctly. So you do what I did, and you start comparing yourself to others and say, well, if I don't understand it, no way this guy understands it, or how did he understand it? Or by now, did he know this thing that I don't know how to do? You start looking for answers, and not always in the right places. But now we're kind of talking in circles, so I'll let you go for today. I hope you enjoyed this one. If you did, consider subscribing. And again, I really appreciate you guys watching these videos. Thanks so much. I'll talk to you again very soon.